Hey guys, Tyson Fury here. Just a quick update. Let you all know that camp's going really well. Less than 3 weeks out. Cannot wait to see you all there in the big smoke at Wembley Stadium. Dillian Whyte is getting knocked the fuck out, man. Cannot wait. See you all there, all my loyal fans. God bless you all.
For years, I've been covering Tyson Fury, and for years, even before he fought Vladimir Klitschko, I was like, yo, this guy can beat them all. He's going to be the next most dominant force in heavyweight boxing. And here he is. Right now, he's demolished Deontay Wilder twice, but even the first fight, I thought Deontay Wilder won. In my personal opinion, he will box circles around Anthony Joshua. You know, he would be too big and too complicated for Alexander Usyk. And Dillian Whyte, well, he's probably going to make Dillian Whyte look like Derek Chisora when he fought him and beat him the second time left-handed. I'm T-Street Controversy with Fight U 360. We cover every single major fight live. We are back full time. I can't put into words the last 2 years I have had. But now, if you notice, we're pumping out a lot of content here because I found out how to get my content out quicker. And I have nothing but free time on my hands. In this beautiful month of April, this week, for example, we got Ryan Garcia returning against Emmanuel Tago, Golovkin versus Murata, Erickson Lubin versus Sebastian Fundora. Next week, Spence versus Ugas, and then the week after this. The undercard has been officially announced for Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. Now, what was the purse bid again? Something like $42 million or so dollars. Well, let me type it up. And I figured that it wasn't going to be no big undercard. You know, do you know these people? Yeah, the purse bid was $41 million split between the two fighters. Tyson Fury is set to get, just back down memory lane as I refresh my memory. Tyson Fury is set to get $32 million while Whyte gets $8 million. And many people feel the fight might not even happen because Dillian Whyte, even though he's training, he's decided not to do any type of media for this fight. But word on the curb is, let me know down below in the comments, wasn't Dillian Whyte offered a better deal, but he forced the purse bid and then Eddie Hearn lost the purse bid? Also, where's Boxer? How come Boxer didn't put themselves, you know, Ben Shalom, who's supposed to be, from my understanding, you know, advising Dillian Whyte? I don't know. But here in the States, the fight's supposed to be taking place on ESPN Plus pay-per-view on April the 3rd, midday card. I'm interested in what the price is going to be. For example, Spence, Sean Porter versus Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter. That was what, $69.99, $75 or something like that. You know, you had to have the ESPN Plus. You know, both Fury versus Wilder pay-per-views. Wasn't they? All three of them, weren't they? The first one, I believe, was $74.99, but wasn't the last two Fury Wilder pay-per-views $79.99, $80? It's supposed to be 25 quid over in the UK on pay-per-view, but here in the States, I'm interested in what they're going to pay, going to charge us. Now, I'm going to be like this. Listen, Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte is not an American pay-per-view. We're paying for Tyson Fury. Dillian Whyte is not known over here, and Dillian Whyte is not known doing no promotional work. So you would think that, you know, if Dillian Whyte had any confidence that he would win, I'm not saying that, you know, he doesn't, but what I'm saying is he would think that, all right, this is my chance to establish myself in the American market, you know, start doing some media rounds. It just, it's bizarre. It doesn't make any sense. Dillian Whyte, arguably one of the best resumes, win or loss at heavyweight in this current generation, 28-2. With 19 KOs. His last fight was a revenge knockout of Alexander Povetkin. That was last March. It'll be, by the time he fights Fury, it'll be 13 months since he's been out the ring. Before that, he had got knocked out brutally by Alexander Povetkin in August of 2020. Other notable names, he beat Oscar Rivas, Derek Chisora, Joseph Parker, Lucas Brown, Robert Helenius. The Robert Helenius and Joseph Parker wins both have aged really well. Dave Allen, you know, the Anthony Joshua fight. What was the card for that fight up until the stoppage? Very, very good, solid resume. But I just can't say that I'm happy with the way he's been conducting himself with the build-up to this fight. So let's talk about this fucking undercard. Ill. But, you know, it's a Frank Warren card, too. So we should have known better. We should have known better. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. T-Street Controversy with Fight View 360. Let's take a look at this nasty joint. I mean, my God. You know, somebody let me know down below in the comments, like, who are we supposed to be looking out for on his undercard? I mean, I see Tommy Fury, okay? Isaac Lowe, 21-1-3 with 6 KOs. God, ill. Versus a Nick Ball, 14-0 with 7 KOs. No disrespect to these fighters, but listen, we don't know you. What the fuck? We don't know you. Let's see, who else? I've heard of this guy before. How do you pronounce his name? Anthony Cacace? I don't know how to pronounce his name. 19-1 with 7 KOs. The Apache. You talk about like club level shows versus a Jonathan Romero from Colombia, 35 years old. I mean, if any of these names, he fought Ruben Tamayo. I see Ruben Tamayo fight Gary Russell Jr. years back when they used to compare Tamayo to Tomato. When they were like, Gary Russell Jr. is fighting a whole bunch of tomatoes. Where is he at? Come on, where you at, baby? Where you at, Gary Russell? Was it another Tamayo that fought Gary Russell? Am I missing it? I guess it was. Maybe it was Oscar Valdez. I could have sworn he fought Gary Russell. I could have sworn this cat fought Gary Russell. Maybe it was another Tamayo. Hold on. Nah, this is going to bother me. I got to look this up. Hold on. Let's take a little jump cut. I got to look this up. I'm sorry to get distracted. Oh, okay. It makes sense. It was a Jose Tamayo that Gary Russell fought. Not Ruben Tamayo. The Tamayo brothers. Are they related? Well, anyway. Back to the undercard. It's like, bro, like, this is what they came up with, you know? But at the end of the day, you know, we're paying for Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. But, geez, they could have gave us something. I mean, they're giving us Tommy Fury. Remember, he fumbled the Jake Paul bag. I really wanted to see that fight. 7-0 with 4 KOs. Cruiserweight. The Love Islander. Oh, he doesn't even have a box rec photo. That'll tell you what you need to know right there. Daniel Bociansku of Poland. 10-1 with 2K. They're trying to get some of the Polish dollars. The Polish show up. You know? He was only stopped once in his last fight. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the undercard, bro. You know, as I'm looking at this press release here from Top Rank in Queensbury, they're supposed to have 94,000 in attendance. It's crazy. It's supposed to be 94,000. It's supposed to start at 2 p.m. Eastern on live pay-per-view coverage in the United States will begin at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Before the pay-per-view telecast, Top Rank signed Irish Olympian Kurt Walker will compete in a 4-round featherweight bout against an opponent to be named. Bro. Tell me what you think about the undercard, because I'm just like, you know, no. It's not something that I'm really looking forward to. And also, I guess since we're here, we might as well talk about the heavyweight division a little bit. Me personally, I've said it before, I think that Deontay Wilder may be done. You know, he may have one more fight, but I don't see it happening this year. He just don't seem to me to, you know, like he's not interested in boxing. It seemed like he didn't want to take this fight. He wanted to take step aside, but, you know, it was too much talk and mumbo jumbo between Top Rank and especially Eddie Hearn running his mouth. Looks like we are going to get Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua 2 in June, May or June, looking like June. Alexander Usyk is, you know, now supposed to be going into training camp. Trevor Bryan and Daniel Dubois. First bid was won by Don King of All. The winner of that is going to be the WBA mandatory for whoever has that, you know, title, Alexander Usyk or Anthony Joshua. Joe Joyce and Joe Parker. It makes sense for both of them to fight. Or one of them fight Frank Sanchez. Frank Sanchez over on the PBC side right now. Felix Hergovitz and The Chinaman, Zhili Zhang, they're fighting to be finally the IBF mandatory. That position's been cursed for some time. So many people have been turning it down. Outside of Tony Yoka, he did want to step up. Andrew Ruiz and Luis Ortiz, don't be surprised if we get that on PBC, on Fox or Showtime pay-per-view this summer. Don't be surprised. In June or July. Who else are we missing an update on? Michael Hunter, we don't know what's going on with him. Ottawa Lean, we don't know what's going on with him. Robert Helenius, we don't know what's going on with him, but he's been on the PBC side. Between Tony Yoka, after Carlos Takam, I forgot if they got a new date for that yet. Tony Yoka, Ottawa Lean, Robert Helenius, Joe Parker, Joe Joyce, they all need to come up with something. Because right now, it's hard to believe that we're not going to see Andrew Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz because that's an in-house fight for PBC. And even Huey Fury's in the mix. So it's a lot of, names out there. But right now, because, the way things are looking, is the winner of Usyk versus Joshua 2 is going to take on the winner versus Fury versus Whyte to be full-fledged undisputed. And then that's when we start to be able to understand who's going to be next in line as far as mandatories are concerned. Anyway, with that being said, and don't be surprised if Tyson Fury gets made franchise champion after, the Dillian Whyte fight if he wins, because he's supposed to win. But yeah, it is undercard. I'm going to rate the card overall a 7 out of 10 because of Fury versus Whyte. The undercard, a 3 of 10. A 3 of 10. And that's being generous, ladies and gentlemen. That's being generous. I'm T-Street Controversy with Fight View 360. Thank you for watching. The links to my social media are right down below in the description box. Follow me on Twitter at T-Street Controversy and on Instagram at T-Street Controversy. We will be here on April the 23rd covering the card. That's life. That's life.